Hi crafty friends, Shana from ShanoukiArt. Have you ever wanted to add additional pages or even an envelope to your already sewn junk journal? There is a really easy and beginner-friendly way to do it. This technique is inspired by Amity Bloom. It's been done a few times, but I saw it first on her channel. I will link her channel in the description box below. Do yourself a favor and go and have a look. Her style and her journals are absolutely breathtaking. You don't have to add a single page. You can add a double page like this if you had to fold a page in half, for example. But for the purpose of today's tutorial, I'm going to add one envelope and one single page to show you the technique. To start, you're going to need your pages, or in this case also an envelope that you're going to add to your journal, and then also you're going to find the location of where you're going to place it. By location, I mean between which pages you want to put your new page. This piece is from the Dina Wakley Ledger Journal that I'm currently obsessed with. It's actually for art journaling, and some people ask me, why am I cutting it up? I've only taken out a few pages. I just love adding them in my journals. You'll then also need a couple of strips of paper, and they need to be the same length as the page that you're going to be adding. This is a spine of an old book. I like the underside of it. It looks quite torn and worn. I could possibly use that. This is a great way to use up scraps. Here's another piece from the Ledger Journal. I'm going to use this to attach the envelope because I like to have continuity in my journals, so this page or paper type will be repeated. You could also use ribbon or fabric. I'm not going to use that today, but I am going to use some masking tape for one of the attachments along with some washi tape. Now, I mentioned earlier that the strip should be the full length of the page that you're going to be adding to your journal. The width, though, can vary. I would say, though, it should be at least 2 centimeters or 1 inch wide to be able to hold the paper in place. This green one of mine is slightly wider than that. And I'm folding it in half long ways, as I find this easier to get it into place when it's already folded. So you can start seeing how this is going to work. With the piece of folded strip, one half section on the left is going to attach to the new page, and the other half strip is going to attach to your existing page already in the journal. I'm going to use clear craft glue for this. I feel that a glue stick wouldn't be quite strong enough, and over time it could come unstuck. And also with the clear craft glue, you also have a little bit of wiggle room. You have time to make adjustments when you put the page in place in case it's not quite aligned. It gives you some time for adjustment. That is another reason why I wouldn't use double-sided tape, because once that is stuck down, it's very hard to pull off again without tearing something. And for this kind of thing, you do need a little bit of time to make minor adjustments. So I've applied the glue on the one half of the strip, and then I've placed my new page down that center part of the strip. It's a little too long. I'm just going to trim that. And this is when I realized that I actually applied that green strip on the wrong side of my page. I actually wanted it on the other side, so it was against that pink flower, but that's okay. For the next step, we need to apply glue on the other half of the strip. So I'll fold my strip up against the page and apply the glue. A lot of people in the comments are asking me what kind of craft glue I use. It's this one. The brand is Boyle. I get it at Bunnings here in Australia, but I know Elmer's clear glue is also really good. We're now going to take that page and press it into the spine or the center section of our journal and press down that left strip to stick onto the left page. So it's created sort of like a hinge. Now, to reinforce it, we need to add the same on the other side. But it doesn't have to be the same paper or the same strip. For this one, I'm actually going to use masking tape and washi tape. To make sure it sticks well, I'm going to add some glue stick first. Although masking tape and washi tape is sticky, I don't think it is sticky enough to hold the page in place. So a little bit of glue first works a treat. Just ensure that when you're sticking down your washi tape or your masking tape, that you are attaching it to both pages on the left and the right. This is what's going to hold it into place. If you want to add more for design purposes to the either side, that's fine, just for decoration, but you do need one piece at least down the center attached to both pages. So for mine, the masking tape down the center is what's actually holding this together. I'm going to then add a piece of decorative washi tape just to the left to add a little bit of color and interest. It looks a bit orangey in this video. It's actually got pink florals on with a bit of yellow, and it's actually coming out orange on the screen. But that's also okay if it doesn't totally match. It is a junk journal after all. I'm now just going to trim off that excess masking tape and washi tape. So there is your added page. Super easy. You can now go ahead and decorate that or do journaling on it. I'm going to leave mine as is for now. I will probably add something in the future. I'm now going to go ahead and add my envelope. So I'll show you how to add something that is slightly smaller than the full page. For the envelope attachment, I'm going to use that same ledger paper as one of the strips. I'm going to cut the strip down to size. It's going to be the same size as the length of the envelope. And look at that yummy coffee stain on the corner of the envelope. I love that. Now for this specifically, I'm not going to fold the strip in half, because if I do, when I stick that down on the envelope, half the address is going to be covered up, which will spoil the aesthetic of the envelope. Instead, I'm going to fold about 1 centimeter up, which is just underneath where the bottom of the lettering on the envelope is. So this small piece, the small piece that I'm folding over, that section is going to attach to the envelope just under the address, like this. Going to add the glue and then stick it to the envelope. I often talk about continuity in my themed journals. I like to repeat elements throughout, which I feel connect the entire journal as one. This is a perfect example. I'm using the ledger paper for this hinge for the envelope, and then I also used that same paper as the additional page that I added near the end of the journal. That is a repeated element. That creates continuity. So that is now stuck, ready to go into the book. Before I stick that down, I am going to measure my next strip while the envelope is still loose. So I have this piece of text paper. It is actually from a dictionary, I think, and I'm just going to cut that down to size. You can see that the strip is much thinner than the other strips I've used. You'll see now it works just as well. Just going to trim that down to the length of the envelope. Going to apply glue to that large piece of ledger paper, which this part is going to stick onto the left hand side page. I'm just going to place that in the center. I'm not measuring, I'm just going to eyeball roughly where the center is. You could do it more up or more down if you want. I want mine in the center, and then just press down that hinge paper or strip paper to make sure the glue spreads well. Right, and then with the next strip, I'm just going to fold that in half again. I just find this much easier to get it into place when it's already folded. And now I'm going to apply the glue. For this one, I'm going to apply the glue across the entire strip. I'm not going to do the left or the right separately. I would normally do this with the second strip, as the page or element is already in place, and you can just sort of fold it down into that crease, like this. And that's my newly added envelope, and now I'm going to fill it with something special. I received some beautiful, authentic vintage ephemera from Cecilia, who goes by Art by C. Frank. We did a little bit of a swap for a project we're working on, and she sent me a beautiful parcel with these authentic vintage ephemera bits in. I absolutely love them. And although I'm a little bit scared to use my good stuff, this is dated, I think, 1922, it says. It's a bit difficult to read the writing, but it looks like 1922, and I get a bit scared to use my good stuff, but I really want to. So I'm going to fold it in half, and it's quite fragile, so when I folded it, it did crack down the center area where I pressed it down, but I think that just adds to the charm, and it just shows its age because it's quite fragile. But since this is my special journal, I'm going to put something special in the envelope. So I hope this encourages you to use your good stuff. Do watch out for an upcoming video in the next few weeks where I'm making a whole new journal using this technique. So it'll be a no-sew journal, and it'll be beginner friendly. So don't forget to subscribe and then hit the little bell so you get a notification every time I upload new content. I really hope you enjoyed this video and that you found it inspiring. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I wish you happy creating, and I will see you again soon. Bye.